is the fact, are we going to build an arena? We got to build an arena.
It's no longer a question of whether the city of Savannah will build a new arena. A SPLOST-funded project taxpayers voted and approved more than 15 years ago.
And then you got these narrow concourses. Well, there's no easy way to fix that.
The city says it's too expensive to try to renovate the current Martin Luther King Arena, and local leaders wanted a reason to redevelop the city's west side.
Here we have land which would benefit from development within a mile of downtown, which would be a perfect location for a new arena.
It creates an opportunity to take advantage of space that is right now underutilized. It creates an opportunity to expand the downtown area, to be able to make use of the canal that is naturally there.
A vision to transform the blight and crime that surrounds Stiles and Gwinnett into a beautiful canal district. Will a new arena in Savannah be everything the city says it will be? We traveled to other cities and spoke to experts who have done it.
One of the, I think, challenges that everyone thinks is, well, it's bright and shiny and new and everybody will come.
Experts say the key is knowing who will use it and how it will be operated. And that must be established up front, not as you go. But it's a project that the mayor inherited, a project that now spins alongside Hurricane Matthew recovery and the rising crime rates.
Cross that bridge when we get there.
It doesn't really work that way. It has to be a planned model.
About 300 miles west of Savannah, the city of Montgomery accomplished revitalizing an area that was once riddled with crime and blight by building a stadium and bringing in a minor league baseball team.
Since the stadium has come along, that's just been the big thing to get people downtown.
I think that was a catalyst for it, and so it's done well for us.
The Biscuits have really put the city on the map, becoming a nationally renowned team, mainly because of its quirky name. The success and fame is probably more than what the city bargained for, but they definitely accomplished the goal of changing the dynamics of the city.
The only people that ever came was to come to work at the state, then they would go home, and then after 5 o'clock it was like nothing.
In 2003, the city decided to convert their old train station on the river into a baseball stadium. Enter Sherry Myers.
In all of our scenarios, we would buy a team or own a team usually, and then work to find a city that was willing to build a stadium.
Biscuit owner Sherry Myers has made a career of bringing baseball to cities around the country. In most cases, she would start working with cities before a stadium was even built.
You really have to understand, I think, not only what the region's interest is, what they'd like to do, but what they would like to do in a sustainable way.
Myers says most of the success is hardly related to baseball.
50% of the people that you do exit interviews with, they don't even know what the score of the game was. And they've come to have a good time. They've come to bring their family. They've come to stay for 3 out of the 9 innings. They've come to grab a hot dog. It's, you know, because it's affordable, you can do that. You can pop in and out.
She says it's more about establishing a product and then selling it. Theirs just happens to be baseball.
You think of a baseball team, yeah, it's about baseball, but it's really no different than, you know, packaged soap or toothpaste. You've got to have a brand people can associate with.
And she says that's how they got the Biscuit name. It's a Southern staple and one of the main items on the menu.
I think campy, quirky fun really adds to affordable family entertainment that, frankly, the country doesn't have as much of as we should.
But the city's main goal for building a stadium was the hope that it would be a catalyst to revitalizing the entire downtown.
The surrounding things that have been built because of the stadium is a little overwhelming, actually. There's a lot going on.
A strategic plan that Myers says was established at the very beginning. She's consulted with other cities who want the same kind of success with economic development projects that involve private-public partnerships. The Biscuits are the main tenant here at Riverwalk Stadium, and according to the owner, that's the key to success when it comes to building any type of sports facility.
So when you have a city who already has economic development and you want to add to that as an accessory to economic development, then you've got to really know your research even more about what's the purpose and why is it justified.
But for the city of Savannah, no decision has been made on whether or not to have a sports tenant at the new arena, a scary reality for experts like Myers.
There are case studies where people have built a stadium hoping they would have a team come, and it just is not as good of a model as putting it together. You know, it's like, you know, getting your wedding dress before you really have dated, right, or have a groom. I mean, I don't think that's how it's supposed to work.
Myers' experience suggests that if the city doesn't have a permanent tenant, they should have at least a third-party operator that can market and generate a constant flow of revenue. When this edition of WTOC Prime returns, we'll take you to the city of North Charleston, where they have taken this same operational approach and been successful.
After my car wreck, dealing with the insurance company was so aggravating.
They say this, they say that, everything but the truth. I want a straight answer.
I'll give you straight answers. That insurance company's not looking out for you, but I am.
I called, and Ken got me $315,000.
$525,000 for my case. Ken wins.
I can't guarantee you that much, but if you've been hurt in a car wreck, get the answers you've been looking for. Call me. One call, that's all.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Where's the best place to buy furniture? Rooms to Go, of course. Because right now, you can choose from our huge selection of beautiful furniture and get 60-month interest-free financing. 60. That's 5 years from now. That's honestly one of the best interest-free finance offers around. Because there's no tricks and no interest for 60 months. So freshen up your home. Get big savings, fast delivery, and great financing. Right now, only at Rooms to Go.
Living Goods Appliance and Bedding will not be undersold by any big box store. This Friday, Black Friday, or any day. Right now, buy any Serta iComfort mattress at Living Goods and get a free box spring. Or save up to $1,000 off an adjustable base. And you can even get a free box spring on Serta Bellagio mattress sets over $799. Enjoy Black Friday pricing right now at Living Goods Appliance and Bedding, Skidaway Road in Savannah and Riverwalk Business Park in Okatee.
Don't dream it, drive it at Kreitz, your dealership for Mercedes-Benz. It's no fantasy that you can drive off in the stylish 2016 Mercedes-Benz CLA 250 Coupe for only $299 a month. Wake up and drive the sleek and powerful 2016 Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan for $339 a month, just $339. We help make your dreams come true at Kreitz.
The destination, Kreitz, your dealership for Mercedes-Benz. Abercorn at Stevenson.
The city of Charleston is often referred to as Savannah's sister city. Founded within 100 miles and 70 years of each other, these two cities share a rich English history and architecture that still captures the eyes of tourists today.
Savannah's awesome, and a lot of people say that it's kind of similar to Charleston. And
for some, the difference between choosing one over the other is oftentimes a coin toss, laying the foundation for what has become two very competitive cities today.
You got a very pretty little city.
You'll have to look a little harder to see the differences, but you'll find the city of North Charleston has what the city of Savannah so desperately wants, a newer arena. The sister city competition became very clear when we were preparing for our trip. Multiple interview requests went unanswered, and access inside the North Charleston Coliseum was denied. And if our luck couldn't get any worse, we headed to Charleston as Tropical Storm Julia was bringing wind and rain to parts of South Carolina. When we arrived, the city spokesperson finally agreed to sit down and talk to us about their facility.
The Coliseum's over 20 years old, but it still is very much in use, and it's still very useful to the city.
The North Charleston Coliseum is a rather new facility compared to Savannah's existing arena, which is more than twice its age. And while crime and blight weren't the motivation behind Charleston's project, expanding economic development was.
I think the economic impact for the city of North Charleston is pushing $90 million.
Johnson says since the North Charleston Coliseum was completed, the area around it has become a huge retail destination, including Tanger outlets among a number of hotels and restaurants. It's a tremendous return on the city's original investment, but it also continues to cost the city.
The city subsidizes the operations of the Coliseum every year by a couple $100,000.
It's a public building, but the city pays for a third-party management company to run it. It's a strategy Savannah never attempted at the existing arena. The city owns and operates the place where concerts and shows are still being held until a new one is built.
I don't think that the city is that well equipped to do those functions, so it makes more sense to contract it to a private company that is well versed, has the contacts, has the industry knowledge, and has been doing it for decades.
The city of North Charleston says while they pay a company to run the facility, their return is still greater than if the city ran the facility themselves.
They do everything. They run the entire facility, do all the facility work, do the bookings, do the marketing, everything.
That includes gatekeeping. We were still denied any access or tour inside the facility even when we asked in person. So we stayed outside during the tropical storm and watched as hundreds of folks flocked to the Coliseum for one of its biggest concerts. Meghan Trainor. It's evident rain and wind didn't stop fans from filling the seats. And city officials say, don't call it luck. They say it's just a smart business plan with a strategic operator.
City staff just, I don't think is as well prepared to handle something to that magnitude.
Coming up, we return to Savannah and sit down with Mayor Eddie DeLoach about Savannah's project to build a new arena. The project he inherited and why he says his hands are tied, even though he's trying to balance a very tight budget.
If they decide that's what they want, then that's what you do.
I was injured in a car wreck. I got a lawyer that I knew would get results.
I'm attorney Jamie Casino, and I get results.
Jamie made him pay and kept me out of court.
Enough said. Injured in a car wreck? Call me right now.
3551500.
Looks like we're about to start anew. Who better start within you, dear? See you next year.
Lease the Infiniti QX60 for $439 a month, or finance at 1.9% APR at your local Infiniti retailer.
Today I want to show you some internet videos.
This is Black Friday. That is insane. I would never do that.
At Chevy, you can avoid the chaos and get great deals on the most awarded lineup.
I like that.
Bam. It's awesome. Then I have to camp out the Chevy dealer 2 days in advance.
I love it.
Wow.
You don't have to wait until Black Friday. Find your tag and get 20% cash back on select remaining 2016 Camaro vehicles in stock. That's an average of over $8,100 cash back. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Drives to the rhythm of your own beat. The new 2017 Ford Fusion Sport, the most powerful car in its class.
Each one of these wrecks ended with a different story. How does your story end?
Jamie made them pay me $280,000.
Injured in a car wreck? Call me right now.
Voted best attorney and best law firm.
Call 3551500.
After meeting with experts at Riverwalk Stadium in Montgomery and touring North Charleston, where they've seen success with their Coliseum, we returned to Savannah with a number of questions and concerns about the existing Martin Luther King Jr. Arena and the reasons behind replacing it with a bigger and better facility on Savannah's west side.
When I walk in there today, I feel like I'm walking in there 30 years ago. It needs to be up, it needs to be fresh, it needs to be painted, it needs to have modern bathrooms.
By the time Mayor Eddie DeLoach took office, prior administrations had already made up their mind not to renovate the existing facility because city officials wanted the new arena to be a catalyst to stimulate economic development in the city's Canal District.
They sat down when this was sold originally to those folks in the West Savannah area, and whether I agreed with it or not, and you know I fought the issue because I thought we needed to really look at it. The issue was they had basically said this is where it's going to go.
admitting his hands were tied from the very beginning. He was obligated to move forward. Like with any project, the city hired a company to conduct a study. In May, Barrett Sports Group presented city council members with a feasibility study that was more than 400 pages long, which includes key findings about what will make or break the success of a new arena.
It just basically focused on what size the city of Savannah would need as compared to all the East Coast and the other people that we compete against.
In fact, that study even names the North Charleston Coliseum as one of several competitive threats in the region, in addition to Jacksonville, Augusta, and Macon, cities that already have established arenas and will become more direct competition when it comes to booking shows and events. Not to mention the competition that already exists in Savannah, like Grayson Stadium, Armstrong's Alumni Arena, even naming the existing space the MLK Arena. According to the study, the Savannah market cannot support two arenas operating against each other. The mayor says that's not part of the plan, but there is a lot of uncertainty about what will happen to that current space.
I've got my opinion about it. I think we ought to keep the base unit and make it into a great symphony facility and design it accordingly, and then cut off the arena part and put a park out there and sell the land around it.
He says the MLK Arena will continue to operate as is until the new facility is complete, which means dealing with the existing problems for a few more years.
When you have a bucket from the roof leaking that's in the bottom floor of the place, you've got issues.
Even though taxpayers approved the SPLOST penny tax to fund the $140 million facility, the city can barely afford the upkeep of the existing one.
And if you don't have an ongoing operating budget that covers the cost of those capital improvements, and you don't have income to cover that, then you end up getting yourself in the situation we're in there now.
Coming up, will the city take the advice and listen to what experts are saying about the keys to success?
I think that is the most difficult thing to try to explain to people, because when it's all fresh and new, it's exciting.
City staff just, I don't think is as well prepared to handle something to that magnitude.
This edition of WTOC Prime will be right back.
It's Black Friday, and we're taking the galaxy by storm. The new 2017 Nissan Rogue has arrived, and it's at your local Nissan dealer during the Go Rogue year-end event. Hurry in for Black Friday savings on Rogue and the rest of the Nissan lineup. Take on any galaxy. Rogue One, a Star Wars story, in theaters December 16th. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,000 on select Nissans.
Cratchit, it's time for the office secret center. Pick a name. Go on. Who'd you get?
Well, I got you, sir.
Oh, fancy that. I got you. Here's a holiday scratcher. Could be worth millions.
Oh, I'd be truly grateful, sir.
I want you to have it. No, I don't. Oh, good gracious. Sorry, this is very hard for me. I'll try again. Okay. No, I failed myself.
It's the gift that's almost too good to give. Spread cheer with holiday scratchers from the Georgia Lottery.
Something new has arrived. Uniquely designed for the driven. Introducing the first ever Infiniti QX30 crossover. Lease the Infiniti QX30 for $299 a month, or finance at 1.9% APR at your local Infiniti retailer.
The all-new #1 Savannah Hyundai is now the Georgia Giant Hyundai dealer. Special purchase new Hyundai Sonatas, $10,000 off, plus 0% for 72 months. Available on the all-new Hyundai Tucson, the SUV that has CRV customers making the switch. Don't worry about credit. We are the area's credit rebuilder. Triple disaster rebate up to $1,500 to help get you back on your feet. Over 450 new Hyundais on the ground. The all-new Savannah Hyundai.
After city officials decided West Savannah would be the new location of a bigger and better arena, replacing the existing one inside the Savannah Civic Center, the city hired a company to conduct a feasibility study. This 400-page document outlines key components and recommendations to success. a sports team, or a third-party operator. The same key elements experts in North Charleston and Montgomery say they've experienced firsthand.
Just booking shows and getting people through the door. And if you can fill the Coliseum, have a guaranteed fill of the Coliseum on a certain number of nights, I think it's advantageous.
The North Charleston Coliseum has both a minor league hockey team, the South Carolina Stingrays.
There's always something going on. So with the hockey game, 4 or 5 months out of the year, you always have something going on here.
And a third-party operator booking events like Meghan Trainor, keeping their schedule full.
Can you imagine me calling up Meghan Trainor's booking agent and being like, "Hey, we've got this Coliseum. You want to come play?" City staff's just, I don't think is as well prepared to handle something to that magnitude.
A third-party operator is something the Savannah Civic Center has never had, instead relying only on city employees to book shows and events. In the last 3 years, the number of events at the MLK Arena have dropped every year. In 2015, there were only 76 events all year. And right now, the biggest moneymaker city employees are able to attract, Disney. And the mayor says the city can't even break even on the cost to operate and maintain it.
I don't see enough activity there.
The mayor says they need a different strategy when it comes to operating the new arena.
When we do it, we'll do it right. I think we should use a third-party person in there in the sense that does the marketing and does all of that.
But those who have been invested in this project for a lot longer disagree with a third-party operator.
That eliminates the possibility for new small businesses.
Dr. Kenneth Zapp is a local economist who served on one of the arena planning committees.
We want every food option inside the arena to be a separate small business, not the big firm controlling everything. When we have small businesses, we'll have competition. It lowers the prices, but it also makes possible for people to start their businesses with very little capital up front.
But the feasibility study stresses success is contingent on either a third-party operator or sports team as a tenant. And while the mayor realizes what's at stake, he's not on board with having both.
That feasibility study said the same thing as the one that Miami got. It'd be great to have a hockey team, but talk to Miami. I don't think we want to go run down the road and try to find one before we get started. I want to make sure we build it to where our facility is ours and it's what we want. And then if we get somebody that's got the backing, got the pockets that can carry it through the lean times, then it would be worth talking to them. But I don't want to rush out and make my facility dependent on them.
For as much certainty behind building the new arena on Savannah's west side, there's twice as much uncertainty about the price tag of the actual economic development.
Where does the money come from? I don't have an idea.
This edition of WTOC Prime will be right back.
These trucks carry big insurance, so if you get hurt by one of these monsters, you're going to have a big case. But the trucking companies aren't just going to hand you the money without a fight. That's why you need to call me. I've handled hundreds of trucking cases, and sometimes my clients have been paid millions of dollars. Now, I can't guarantee you millions of dollars on your case, but if you've been hurt by a big truck, call me. I'm at the top of my game. One call, that's all.
Call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Don't dream it, drive it at Christ Buick GMC. Supplier pricing is on. Drive off in a 2016 GMC Yukon for up to $10,000 off, or a 2017 GMC Sierra for up to $7,000 off. Get 20% off select Buick Regals, Encores, and Veranos. That's up to $8,000 off Buick Regals. We help make your dreams come true at Christ Buick GMC.
The destination, Christ Buick GMC, Abercorn at Stevenson.
Mike Costello.
Go ahead and take that, Mike.
Mike Costello. Mike Costello. I hope you're having a great weekend. How can I help you? I'm attorney Mike Costello. If you've been in a car crash, when can you call me? Call me anytime. Oops, not this time.
Amazing Black Friday offers are here during the Ford year-end event. Save on America's most awarded brand. Plus, get $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash on top of other great offers. All from Ford, with the most 5-star ratings and the highest owner loyalty. That's how you become America's best-selling brand. Shop now during the Ford year-end event and save on our entire lineup. Get $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash on top of all other great offers. See your local Ford dealer today.
Experts like Sherry Myers have consulted with many cities, helping them navigate through major projects like building a new arena.
As we do that, I think the city's intentions are great, but, you know, they're not business people. You know, they're not in the business of figuring out how something's going to work 15 years from now.
Myers has never consulted for Savannah, but wasn't kidding about the 15 years. That's exactly how long this project has been in the works. It's still unclear whether the new facility will have a sports tenant or a third-party operator, and no one knows what will happen to the existing space. But after a 400-page feasibility study, the city has decided they want another study conducted because this one left out some of the most important details about this project, the redevelopment plans for the surrounding area.
I think that the consultants made several mistakes which we have to overcome.
When we sent them back to the drawing board, we asked them to basically take that area which goes from Gwinnett, Stiles, and Louisville Road, take that area back to MLK, lay it out, and design a grid pattern that would mimic what Savannah was and the layout it has, and then lay down what businesses or what facilities would be needed there or could be put there that would improve the development of that area so that it would have the impact that we feel like it needs in that area.
Ironically, the $140 million taxpayers approved for the new arena does not include any redevelopment plans. The mayor says that'll cost another $70 million.
It's estimated at $200 to $210 million. Now, where does the money come from? I don't have an idea. Not based on the way the numbers are written up in the SPLOST program.
The city is still collecting the initial funds for the project, which means we're at least 3 years away from ever breaking ground.
The process is sloppy, but no one said democracy is pretty.
In the meantime, Savannah is also dealing with unexpected financial costs from Hurricane Matthew and rising crime rates. But folks like Zapp say the city can't afford to put this project on hold any longer.
In the long run, if we don't have more jobs, we will continue to have more crime. And if we're interested in the long run, not just tomorrow, we have to find ways to develop neighborhoods which need development that would help the city grow without focusing all of its growth downtown, where the citizens don't want any more growth.
Of course, all of this depends on what comes of that second study, which is expected to be released in December. The new arena will be the largest capital project in the city's history. If managed properly, it should attract the mega trainers like Charleston and the economic development like Montgomery, all while reconnecting a long-neglected part of the city back to the historic district and expanding the tourist zone. What could possibly go wrong? Well, that's what WTOC News will be here to tell you. Good night.